Hey friends, welcome back. Uh, Thanks for watching my previous videos. Here I am uploading and creating this video, a new video, continuing to the previous videos that I had uploaded earlier. I had uploaded a series of videos which introduced you to SAP, what SAP is, what you will be doing as a SAP consultant, how did the company SAP begin, and what is an ERP as well. So I just gave you an idea of what it is all about in my previous videos and also introduced you to the SAP graphics user interface, that is the GUI. How does the SAP system look like, and where exactly will you be working once you are a consultant when you want to configure something into SAP. So I showed you the graphics user interface or the user interface that you will come across when you'll be working as a SAP consultant. Also, needless to say, I explained you how the sales cycle works in a particular business. So I gave you the steps and uh, the milestones or the important points that are to be noted or understood when a complete sales cycle is being processed. So you need to have a thorough understanding of the sales process. So once you have that understanding, you would be easily able to um, you know understand the technicalities of SAP. So how would you be able to configure that process into SAP? The main aim is to configure the whole uh, sales cycle into the SAP system so that each and every sales transaction that happens in that company is being recorded in the database, finally to make out reports from it, important reports from the database. So as I explained you, the sales cycle goes on. So here you can see the sales cycle which I had explained that day, and this is the customer who places an order to your company, and you process the order with the help of all these documents that I had told. Okay, so now that we have an idea of what the SAP interface looks like, we'll be actually processing this whole sales cycle into the SAP system. So whatever we had discussed in the previous session, all those things would be actually performed into the SAP system. Please note that you cannot directly go ahead and carry out these activities into the SAP system. Before doing that, you need to set up the enterprise structure. So without which you won't be able to uh, create the sales cycle or replicate the sales cycles into the SAP ERP. So I have uh, completed or created an enterprise structure for a dummy company into the SAP system. So my company is ABCD, and for this company I have created a sales order once I, I received an order from my customer. So for this company, uh, I'll be processing an order from from a customer XYZ Inc. So this is our customer and this is our company. So this customer has placed an order to us, um, placed a purchase order in our name so that we could deliver a particular material to this customer. So as I told you, the bold ones are nothing but the important milestones in the sales cycle. So these milestones should be created as a document in the SAP system to mark that the sales cycle has reached that particular level. Okay, so that is nothing but recording data in the SAP system and letting the system know that the sales transaction with this particular customer has reached this point. Okay, if it's still delivery, it has reached till delivery. It's not yet picked, packed, and then sent to the customer. So after delivery, you will do the picking, packing, goods issue, and send it to the customer. and then invoice the customer. Okay, so it marks the milestone or the level at which the sales cycle lies at the point. So it is represented using these uh, bold words that you see over here in the blue section. So these bold words are nothing but a document in the SAP system. Okay, so you got to create a document at each particular level. So when a customer asks for an inquiry, you'll create an inquiry document into the SAP system. When the customer asks for a quotation, you'll create a quotation, and so on and so forth. So based on this inquiry, you'll create a quotation. Based on this quotation, you'll create a sales order. Based on the sales order, then you'll create a delivery. Okay. So now let's go ahead and check this into the SAP system. As I had already told you that we have certain transaction codes to reach to particular screen. That day I had told you how to reach to sales order creation screen. Okay. Similarly, we can reach out to the quotation create screen using either the folder menu path or the transaction code. So today I'll be taking you to each of these creation pages using the transaction codes. So once the whole cycle is completed till invoice, I'll show you and note down all the transaction codes for each of the documents that we had created. Okay. Uh, Also note that I had yeah, okay. So here for picking, there is one more document that comes up when you have a warehouse. Okay. What is a warehouse? Warehouse is nothing but uh, a huge storage location, okay, for your company, which has a lot of material stored in it. And warehouse picking is usually done using a document called as transfer order. Sorry, it's not L203, it's transfer order. Okay, so the picking of the material, so whatever material is to be delivered to the customer, that has to be picked either from a storage location or a warehouse. So warehouse and storage location is a subset of warehouse. Okay, so warehouse is nothing but something very huge where a lot of materials are stored, stocked, and so on. So taking something out of the warehouse, I mean, you need to manage a warehouse for that perfectly. Like, you should know what material is stored at what point, because warehouses are huge and there are so many quantities of material stored in the warehouse. So in order to have a clear picture of where that required material is stored, placed into the warehouse, you need to create a transfer order. Okay, so the transfer order will generate a picking list which will be given to the warehouse manager, and he'll ask the people in the warehouse team to pick the material and bring it out for it to be packed and then sent to the customer. Okay, so now coming back, that day I had told you for each of the um milestones I'll be using directly a transaction code. Okay, so now let's move on to the SAP system. So here is the SAP system. Okay, a box over here where you can directly enter the transaction code to reach to a particular transaction. Okay, so let's firstly create an inquiry. So inquiry. So suppose the customer has come to you asking for an inquiry. So here we'll create an inquiry. So the transaction code for creating inquiry is VA11. It's 11, VA11. So it will ask you for the inquiry type that you want to create. So there are standard inquiry types in SAP. So IN is the inquiry type. Now sales, you also need to enter the sales area. Okay. So sales area is nothing but the sales area using which from where you would be selling the material. So sales area is a combination of a sales organization, distribution channel, and division. So my company has a sales org ABCD, which I have created in the enterprise structure. So all these things that you see over here has been created in the enterprise structure. So sales org, distribution channel, and division. Sales org is nothing but uh, the unit, okay, the unit which is responsible for all the sales activities for your company, okay, or the department which is responsible for the sales activities of your company is called as the sales organization. Okay, so this will take care of the sales activities, even the after sales service and other stuff that you have. Complaint processing, like if there is a returns, if the product is damaged, in that case as well, it's the sales organization which takes care of all the activities in such circumstances for the company. Okay, for our company. So distribution channel is nothing but what is the means through which the material reaches out to the customer. And division. Okay, division is nothing but the way different lines of product that your company has. Okay, inquiry type is IN, which is the standard inquiry type. So I enter this information and click on enter. So I'm creating an inquiry. When I hit enter, it will take me to the screen. So now this particular area over here in this document is called as the document header, and this area in this particular screen is called as the item data. Header data, item data. Okay, so header data is nothing but it will have these particular fields. Okay, so it is the sold to party, shipped to party. Now what is a sold to party? Sold to party is nothing but the customer's name to whom you are with whom you have agreed the sales terms and conditions. Ship to party is the location to which this particular seller has told you to ship the material. Okay. In many cases, it can be same, or in cases, in certain cases, it can even be different. Okay. It's not a hard and fast rule that you need to enter the same. So this is the sold to party, ship to party. PO number would come into reference when you actually get a PO from a customer. Or here you could enter the mail subject line that the customer had sent to you asking for the inquiry. Okay, you are creating an inquiry in the system so that our system has a record that this customer had placed a request for knowing more about our products. Okay, so if there is an email that he had sent, you could enter the subject line or some identifiable words over here. Okay, PO date. If there is a date on which he had sent, you could enter the date as well. So here I'll enter today's date. So till what time do you want to respond to this inquiry? So you'll enter from today's date, let's say, valid from today's date till what point? So let's see, we enter 17. So it will intimate, or our system will have a track of this so that some of our sales representative respond to this inquiry as within the stipulated deadline. Okay, we could even enter the requested delivery date over here. When is the delivery date requested by the customer? Enter the material. So I have created a material called as, see, people always remember that this is a code for the customer. Okay, and the address associated with this customer is associated with this code, customer number, code or number. Okay, 112 represents XYZ customer. Okay, similarly, ABCD represents certain material or car, let's say, the material that you want to sell to your customer. So I'll enter the material number. After that, the quantity, let's say 10 quantities. Okay, so you could see there is immediately a net value getting calculated when you enter the quantity for this material. So this material has certain price, and based on this, it has calculated the net value. Alright. So once you enter this information, the header information, the item information, you would save this inquiry so that you have a database of it, and you could even respond to this at a later point. Okay, so at the bottom you get a message called as inquiry this saved. So this is the inquiry number. In future, if you want to have a look at this inquiry, you just need to have this number, inquiry number. Okay, so now what we'll do is that based on this inquiry, you send a response to the customer through email, like this is the material, this is what you'll get, and this is what is the detailed information about the product. Okay, the customer has a look at the inquiry that you have sent. Based on the information, he's amazed, or like he has liked your product. So what he'll do is that he'll ask you for a quotation. Okay, so he'll send you an email like, please send me a quotation for this particular material. So what we'll do is that you need not create a quotation from scratch because our system already has the price for the material set up in it. So what you'll do is that you will create a quotation with reference to this inquiry. So what will the quotation do? If you're creating a quotation with reference to this inquiry, it will copy all the information that is there already present in this particular inquiry to the quotation, so that the price details and all stuff would be copied to the quotation. So for that you need the transaction code for creating quotation is VA21. Okay, so you could see create quotation initial sales screen. Once you enter that information, it will directly take you to that particular screen. So quotation type QT. Again, enter the sales or distribution channel and division. It will be the same because that is the sales area from which we are selling the material to the customer. So after doing that, as we have to create with reference, we won't directly hit enter. We'll click on create with reference. Okay, in the application toolbar. Now this is the application toolbar. Okay, and this one is the standard toolbar to go back, ahead, close, and so on. Click on create with reference, and with what reference do you want to create this quotation? So it is the inquiry. So in the inquiry, I have a inquiry number. Okay, I forgot to note down the number. I'll just quickly check what is the number. Okay, this is the number. So once again, I'll go to B21, create with reference. Okay, so I want to create it with reference to an inquiry. So it asks what is the inquiry number with which. So I had created this inquiry just before 2 minutes. I'll enter the same inquiry number because I want to create it with the same inquiry number. So all the details that are there in the inquiry will get copied over here. Click on copy and so the quotation also has the same structure as that of inquiry. This is the header data, which has the sold to party, shipped to party. Here is the net value, the total value of the items that are there in this quotation. At the lower level, in the item data, you see the item material number or material code. This is the customer number or customer code. This is 10 quantities each, so 10 each, and the description of the item is hatchback car, which costs 1500 USD. So mind you, it's not 1.5, it's 1500. So the system is configured with the European denomination. So that's why it's showing in this fashion. In Europe, this means 1500, okay, and not 1.5. So the quotation has the details, has the price and other stuff, and you could send the quotation. You could even change the price if you want, if you feel like this is not the correct price and this is what we should be quoting to them initially, and then if they try to negotiate, we could reduce it down. So that could also be done. But let's say as of now we don't want to change it. We have kept the same value, we send it to the customer. So when you save this, SAP has a functionality wherein you need not manually create a PDF file of the quotation and then attach it into your email and send it to your customer. That is not required in SAP. SAP could be configured in such a fashion that once you click on the save button over here when for the quotation, it will automatically trigger an email to this customer. Okay, this XYZ Inc. So that you see over here, XYZ Inc. This customer will automatically get an email once you save this. So this is how SAP is uh, improving the efficiency of the business. It says document is incomplete when I'm trying to say it seems there are certain important fields which we need to enter. So quotation validity, yes, this is an important parameter. So I'll say complete with data. So when you go back to the main screen, okay, just not to confuse you. So valid from and valid to. Every quotation has certain validity. Okay, so you need to enter a validity because you are sending it to your customer. Now this validity is pretty much important. So today's date, let's say till next week. That is the time period when this quotation is valid, or probably next month. Let's see. That's what you can say. So this code that you are providing 1500 for 10 quantities of ABCD1 would be valid till next month. So now I'll click on save and it will save it. Okay. At the bottom you get a message quotation dash 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 has been saved. Now you have saved a quotation and automatically the system has already sent an email to the customer if you have configured SAP in that fashion. Okay, so configuring that part is known as output determination in SAP. Okay, so the outputs that are triggered when you save a document is nothing but configured using a functionality called as output determination. Okay, so now you have a quotation created. Okay, what is the next step that you do? So inquiry, you have quotation. I'll just note down the quotation number over here, which I have just picked up. I'll also have the inquiry number just for reference. The next thing is, what happens after that? The customer takes the quotation, reviews the quotation, and let's say he's okay with the price that we have mentioned, and he wants the product to be delivered immediately. So he'll immediately send you out a purchase order. Okay. Now is the time when you get the purchase order and the purchase order number. So every purchase order is nothing but a legal document which has all the details, terms and conditions, uh, the price that we had agreed upon, and the delivery date and etc. Other information. So you get a purchase order from the customer. So now you want to create a sales order, correct? Next step is to create a sales order because you have got a purchase order giving you a go ahead and thumbs up for going ahead and preparing or manufacturing the product and sending it so that you get revenue out of it. Okay, because the customer has given you a purchase order. So now you need to create a sales order. Yesterday we had seen the create sales screen. The transaction code is VA01. Okay. Okay. When I enter VA01, it's not taking up. The reason being, when you are into some other transaction, like this is change inquiry initial screen. Okay. When you are into some other transaction and you want to navigate to some other T code that you have, and when you enter the T code like VA01 directly in the dialog box, it won't take you to that transaction. It will give you an error that you just now saw. Requested function is not available. The reason being, you need to always enter /n when you are into some other screen. Okay, /n and the transaction code VA01. Okay, so it has taken me to the create sales order screen. Now you see OR. Now for creating a sales order, the order type would be OR. Always remember that. For inquiry it is IN, quotation it is QT, and for sales order it's OR. Okay, again the sales organization from which you are selling out the material, and again create with reference because you want to create it with reference. You could even create it directly. For creating directly you just need to hit enter, and but when you create it directly you need to enter all the information again. Okay, create it with reference. But in case you have a quotation already existing for this customer and only on the basis of that quotation you want to create an order, it's always recommended that you create it with reference to a quotation because the quotation has the agreed price, and if you directly create it from here it might be a possibility that you have some other price and discounts given to the customer. So better you copy the quotation as it is into the sales order. So create with reference. Now you are not into inquiry screen, you are into the quotation tab, and here enter the quotation number which you had just now created. So I have it noted down over here. Copy, paste. This is the quotation number, and click on copy. So it will copy all the details of the quotation into the sales order. Sales order is nothing but intimating your production manufacturing team to actually start manufacturing the product, or um, preparing for the, or if it's available in the stock, you directly prepare for the delivery of the material to the customer. Okay, so now see create standard sales order. This is how the screen looks like. It is a little different from inquiry and quotation which you just now saw earlier, but it also has the header, and this part about these tabs is called as the header data, and this part over here is called as the item data again. So every single document in SAP sales and distribution would have a header data, item data, that is common, and the information that you see over here would be common to both header and item. Okay, some of the important information would be populated in over here in these tabs, and so on and so forth. So you could see as it is the data is copied ABCD 10 quantities each. So the description as well and the price as well as it is. So now here you get a chance to enter the PO number because you have received a PO number. Let's say the PO number is ABCD. So this number would come from the customer's PO that he has sent. So every PO has a number. Like every document would have a number. Similarly, PO number is the number available on the customer's document. So let's say ABCD is the document, and today is the date when I received the PO. So I'll enter today's date. So today's date. Okay. So let's say customer has requested a delivery um, tomorrow. Enter the date. The date on which the customer has requested the delivery. So this is how this is the header data. This is the item data. If you want to check the details of the header data, so only these fields are not the header data. Only these fields don't comprise the header data. If you want to exactly see what exactly data is there in the header, you need to click on this magnifying glass over here. So this will all these tabs are there in the header. So this much information is actually there in the sales order header. Okay. So this icon that you see over here, it's processing. So I have clicked on this payment cards, but it's not yet taken me to that particular transaction. That is nothing but compiling. So a program is being read before you are being taken to that particular transaction. So this is the header data. If you want to see the item data, this single line is not the item data, but if you double click on it, you get so many different tabs that you can see. This is the schedule line tab. This is the conditions tab. Conditions tab has the pricing data in it. Okay, for that material and so on and so forth. So now this is the header item. Now you have created a sales order to the customer against the customer's PO, and you save it. I'll save it. At the bottom you again get a message sales order so and so has been created. I'll just note down the sales order number. Okay, I'm going further. Let's say we have stock for the material. Okay, how to check the stock for the material? Slash n mmbe is the transaction code. Okay, enter the material number. ABCD1 is the material number. My plant name is ABCD, from where the material will be procured. Storage location in that plant is ABCD again. Execute the transaction. So it says my warehouse. Okay, so this is the ABCD company. This is the ABCD plant. And for this plant, there is a warehouse called as ABCD, and it has 100,000. So it has this much of unrestricted stock, which could be used for selling out to the customer. So now that we have the stock, we'll directly create a delivery. So how do you create a delivery? The transaction code is VL01N. So I'll take you to the delivery. Here you need to enter the shipping point. Shipping point is nothing but the place from where you prepare the shipping activities for the material. You initiate the shipping activities for your material. So it might be a place inside your plant, away from your plant, from where the vehicle, the vehicle boarding, the transportation vehicle boarding point, or so on and so forth. So I have already created the shipping point in the enterprise structure which I had mentioned earlier. So my shipping point is again ABCD. See, for my convenience, I have given all of the enterprise structure names or number as ABCD so that I could easily identify them. Okay, I'll set enter the selection data as 14 and order number, the order number from for which I'm creating a delivery. Okay, see if I go back, I'll once again show you this thing. So this is the order number which I just now created. I need to enter the order number for which I want to create a delivery. The transaction code is VL01N. Here I need to enter the shipping point, the selection date, and the order number from for which I'm creating a delivery. Creating a delivery is nothing but initiating the issue of material from our warehouse so that they could be taken out from our warehouse, picked, packed, and placed into a transportation vehicle so that it takes the material to the customer's location. So this is a delivery created, an outbound delivery. Outbound delivery is nothing but a delivery that goes in the outer direction, like going out of our company or plant. So this is an outbound delivery. This is the ship to party. Ship to party information is very necessary in an outbound delivery. That's why you only see the ship to party over here, because that is the location where the delivery is being taken. So it is the address for this. So this is the address for this ship to party 112. The same material, same quantity as specified earlier. Now let's go into the picking tab. So it says 10 quantities and 0 quantity picked. We haven't picked it. So in order to pick the material mm, from a warehouse, you need to create a transfer order for this delivery. So firstly, we need to save this delivery. Now that we have saved the delivery, it has created a delivery number 800. Creating a delivery doesn't mean that material has left the plant. We still need to pick it from the warehouse. For that, we need to create a transfer order so that it is picked from a warehouse. So we have a warehouse. Our warehouse code is ABC, which I have created in the enterprise structure. Change, copy. I have copied the delivery number. I'll just mention it over here. And now I need to pick the material. For picking, I need to create a transfer order. Transfer order will generate a picking list. Picking list will be given to the warehouse manager. He'll in turn ask the people, the workers over there, to pick the material that is mentioned in the pick list. Pick list will also have the storage bin where the material is stored in the warehouse so that the picker can directly go to that particular location and have the material from there. So let's go to transaction LT03. LT03. Here, this is the delivery number for which you are creating a transfer order. Transfer order is always created against a delivery number. Warehouse number is, I have a warehouse that I have for my company. It's a lean warehouse, and you could enter the plant as well if you want. And here you go. So the transfer order is directly created. So this is the delivery number, this is the material, and yeah, this is the quantity 10 each. So this much quantity of this material has to be picked from the warehouse ABC. So this, the transfer order has all the details of the material to be picked, for which delivery is it going to pick the material. So this is the delivery number, this is the shipping point from where the material is going to be shipped, and the description of the material and the quantity. Okay, picking date and loading date. Loading date is nothing but the date on which the material will be loaded into the truck. It will be picked from here. So let's just save this document so that it generates a pick list. Generating a pick list is nothing but saving this document will automatically create a printout, and it will trigger a print to that particular printout that you have associated with the SAP system, which will have all the list of materials to be picked and which will be shared with the warehouse team. So it says transfer order created. So what happens in this process is that once the pick list is given, the warehouse team picks the material and gives a confirmation. So confirmation is nothing but the material is available and we have confirmed all of the quantity has been picked. So once that is done, we go back to the delivery. So now I had created delivery using VL01N. Uh, Let me just note down the transfer order number. Transfer order number is 3. I'll just note down as TO. Okay. So now creating a delivery is VL01N. Now once you have to view the delivery that was already created, it's VL02N. Okay, slash n VL0 view or change it. So VL02N. The delivery number, you need to paste the delivery number that you have just now created. So it's the same delivery number that automatically comes up. This is the standard SAP functionality. So it uh, populates the latest delivery that was created, the recent delivery that was created. Okay, go into this, open this delivery which you had just now created, for which you had created a transfer order. And if you open this and check the status, it will tell you that you have created a delivery, you have carried out picking from the warehouse. Uh, so all the statuses will be shown as green, but the goods issue is nothing but actually moving the material out of a plant premises. That would be red. So if you go into status overview, now here you could see this particular region was grayed out. There was zero quantity over here initially. Now that you have carried out picking from the warehouse, it shows that 10 quantities have been picked and it's confirmed. Okay, so that's why it shows 10 quantities over here. Now go to status overview. In status overview, you'll see that overall picking status is C, green. Overall warehouse management status is C, green. Pick confirmation, that is the material is available in the warehouse, C. So everything is confirmed. So all the quantities that were requested in the delivery are available in the warehouse and have been picked successfully. Now GM is nothing but goods movement. Now, goods movement is nothing but moving the material out of the factory premises. That is not yet complete. And BS is nothing but the billing status. These two are not complete. So unless you do GM, you cannot do billing, okay, or creating an invoice. For that, you need to issue the material. So for carrying out the goods issue, you have this button in the application toolbar called as the goods issue. In transaction VL0 to N, you see the same button, post goods issue. Once you click on this will turn green later on. So I'm clicking on post goods issue. So at the bottom, you see delivery dash 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 has been saved. So this delivery was saved, and now when I go again into this delivery, and if I check the status overview, you will see that this is also green and only billing status is red now. Now the next step is to create the billing document, because the material has been issued and it will be it has reached the customer. Let's say the material has reached the customer and you need to send an invoice to the customer. So for that, you need to create a billing document. The transaction code for creating a billing document is /n. /n is like a prefix which is required when you are into some other screen. Transaction code is VF01. Okay, this is the transaction code for creating a billing document. At the top, you could see create billing document. So in this case, we are going to create a billing document called as invoice, wherein you will be asking the customer that this is the amount for the material that you have. We have just sent it to you and you need to pay this much amount to us. It will be in the name of that particular customer, and you need to enter the delivery number over here against which you are going to create a billing document. So if you enter a delivery number over here, it will automatically compute the amount that has the quantity of material that has been sent to the customer, and the price will be taken from the sales order. So click on this execute button, and so that it will process a billing document. So this is how a billing document looks like. At the top you could see invoice, create, overview of billing document. So the payer is this person, that is 112 company who has bought the material from us. Billing date is this. The net value of is again 1500 as it is copied from the sales order. The material is hatchback car, 10 quantities of this material, total sums up to 1500, and the material code is ABCD1. Okay. Tax amount 00. As of now, I haven't configured tax, that's why it's showing 00. If there is tax would be applicable. So now that this is the header part of the billing document, this is the item data of the billing document. Again, if you want to see the details, go into the click on the magnifying glass and it will take you to that particular. It will show you all the header data in depth. And if you double click on this, it will show you the item data in. Okay, it's not just one line that's there. There is a lot of data associated with it, which you will understand going further when I explain the functions of SD, the basic functions that are there in SD. So when you save this, it will generate a billing document and it could even be sent to the customer using the output determination functionality. So every single document in SAP would have that output determination functionality, which is again a basic function which would help the system to directly communicate with the customer. No need of manually sending the invoice copy. Okay, I'll click on save and it says document has been saved. So you have created this billing document successfully. So this is how the sales cycle is processed right from creating an inquiry till billing. Okay. After this, uh, you even uh, receive the payment. So billing, I'll note down billing. The billing document number is cycle works right from inquiry till billing. Okay. So this is what would be the job of a sales consultant. So you would be creating an inquiry. You would be configuring the SAP system in such a fashion that you need to create an enterprise structure first and then configure it in such a fashion that the process flows as the client wants. Okay, so there might be different sales cycle, like some of them might not want quotation, some of them might not want inquiry, some of them might want a sales order which would behave in this particular fashion, a manner. So in that case, you have to tweak the settings of the sales order in such a manner that it will behave as the customer wants. Okay, as your client wants. So that is what would be the job of a consultant. You need to understand the business process and implement the business process for the client. Okay, so that finally the customer would be able to run his cycle successfully, so that the daily records that are being carried out in the company would be recorded by the company's employees successfully. So hopefully you understood most of it. If in case you have any questions regarding the sales cycle, please comment out and let me know. In the next sessions, we'll be studying more complicated business processes. This was just to introduce you how the sales cycle goes on into the SAP system. And now, based on this, we'll be learning different uh, business scenarios into the SAP system. And we'll firstly understand how the business process works, and then go ahead and jump into the SAP system. So this was for the day. Thanks for patiently listening. Kindly subscribe my channel so that you get updates on what is if any video is posted. Anyways, I tend to post a video every weekend. So let's close it for the day. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.